Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I will show you how you can create your own MOC or mock by using the Bricklink Studio 2.0 modeling software. So by end of this video, you will able to learn up how to create your own MOC by using Studio 2.0. So this is a more introductions or beginner level of video. So I will just introduce you the most common features that I use in this particular software. So hope you can pick up the skills and learn this up and create your own MOC in Studio 2.0. So let's dive into it. Just a quick introduction about this Studio 2.0 software. This is actually created and invented by the Bricklink team. So I found this modeling software which is very good because it's available in both very commonly used OS which is the Mac OS and also the Windows OS. Of course, there is a lot of modeling software out in the market. For instance, the official Lego software which is the LDD, and also those famous modeling software such as MLCAD, LDraw, and also the Macabrix. But myself personally, I love to use this the most. Of course, it didn't mean that the others is not good or this is better than the other. It's just that I found this software, it suits me the most. So first of all, I will show you where and how to download this Studio 2.0 software. So firstly, you can just fire up your browser and in the URL column, you type in start.io. I will also put up a link in the description box below, so you can just go from there. Once you go into the start.io site, this is what you expected to see. So in this page, you're able to see some briefly introductions about this Studio 2.0 software. So you can see at the bottom tells you what is the good and function of this Studio 2.0 software. So at the top side, you can see the download Studio 2.0 for Windows. If you are using the Windows OS or if you are using the Mac, you can simply go to the Mac OS or the Mac OS there and download and follow the instruction to download it. So once the installation is done, then you can open up the Studio 2.0 software. So when you fire up the software, you were expected to see what is shown on the screen right now. There's a welcome page and showing you what is the options that you have. So here you can create a new from scratch, open up your existing file, import, and it will also show you the recent creations that you already made previously. So I will quickly show you the tutorial that created by the Bricklink team over here. So you press on this. So firstly, it will teach you how to use the mouse. So you can see here when you scroll your mouse wheel, which is represent the zoom in and out functions. When you click on your right mouse button, which is the drag and rotate the camera, and if you press the space and the left mouse button simultaneously, which is representing panning the camera. So in this Bricklink tutorial, it will use this snail as an examples for you to learn up. So I won't go through the details now, you can play on it yourself. So for this video, I will use my Christmas train MOC as an examples for us to go through in this video. Okay, so let's start with blank scratch creations. So when you open up the software, you can see that this pop-up window. So from here, you can actually create the new scratch by choosing this. There's also another button at the bottom, but whichever you choose, it also leads you to the same page, which is same like this viewport. So if you are first to this software, you might be overwhelmed by the buttons or the selections that you have once you see this, but in fact it is not so complicated only. So I will try to go through some of the buttons and the functions now, and when we go through the examples on the Christmas train, then from there I will slowly introduce more and more functions to you along the way. So at the top menu here, you can see you click on the file, there's a drop down list for you to open the recent file, and you can save and import and whatsoever. So you can edit more, you can use the model wheel, which is changing the wheel of your creations when you are building it. The tools for you to create the instruction and also create the parts. And also you can link your Bricklink account through the Studio 2.0. Okay, from here you can actually import some of the model which you already done, or you can export to others files format. Actually, Studio 2.0 do support most of the common modeling software in the market. So on the left hand side, you can see actually in general, this is where you choose the bricks where you want to use for your creations. The top part here is actually grouped by the type of the elements, which is the brick, round bricks, modified brick, plates, and so on. So at the bottom here, it shows what kind of selection that you have for that particular group. And you can also filter by color over here. You can see a little white color box. When you hover your cursor on it, you see palette colors now selected is white color. I'm not sure it did by default, but if you are showing others, but it's fine. You just click on it, then you can have a full range of the colors for you to select. So you can see a rainbow color scales or ruler here. It's actually just easiest for you to do the filtering. Let's say you want to select sand green, so you can just click on the green here. So it will show you all the colors related to green. For instance, lime color, aqua color, okay. And then if you click on yellow, then you will select by do the selections with the yellow. So you can see like this. So by default we can choose white, and you can see a little things here. It shows hide unavailable colors, which means that if you want to build something which is only available for the color from the Lego Elements library, so you have to check this one. If not, even though if you didn't uncheck this, if you didn't check this block, then it will just show whatever elements available in the market regardless of the color, which means that maybe in aqua, let's say the aqua colors, it don't have 1x2 this element. If you uncheck this one, it will show appear. So eventually it might affect you if you want to turn these creations into a real part, because it will just show whatever it has in this library, which means that it didn't reflect the real case of the color selections. So for this one, it's actually just the thumbnail size, which you can control. You can choose whatever you want. However, on the right hand side is more on the color selections. You can see when you click on the white here, is showing the same color selections that I just showed you earlier. And then at the right bottom side, which is the step list, and this step list is actually is actually used to create the instructions for your creations. So for now, I think, or for the beginner, we don't touch on this first. We can just leave it there. Okay, so let's start to build the Christmas train. So I would like to build the train base now, which I would like to use the white color. Then I will go to black and white, and I select the white color. So from drop down here, okay, one thing is also you can actually hide those decorated part, which means that those printed part that available in the Lego library. This will actually shorten the list, shorter the selection list which you have, which might easier for you to build. So right now I would like to have the plate. I click on the plate here, and then I scroll down to find what I want is 2x8 plate. One thing you can do is if you are not sure whether this is the element or the part that you would like to use, you can right click and hold over here, and you can rotate the element as well, just to let you have a clearer picture what is this part is, and or fully have a full view on this. So at all of the elements, all of the parts, you can do this to have a better view. So when I select this, you can see actually right now I didn't hold my mouse. It just automatically holding from me by the cursor, and then I click on left button, then it will place on the ground, so-called the ground. And then you can just right click and rotate the screen, and then you can create a multiple part here. So until you are done with this element, you can basically press on escape on your keyboard, or you click on right mouse button to unselect it. Then you can have multiple parts on the pot. So let's say now you have you accidentally created a lot, then you can press and hold your control button or your command button for the Mac user. Press and hold, then you will select all, then you just click delete, or you right click, choose the delete, then you will delete that selected element. Okay, so now we would like to use start to build from here, and then the next one we want to use is 2 times 2 white plate. Then we go there, and then I would like to place it at the bottom. So okay, one thing I would like to share is this snap features here. By default, I think is turned on, and most of the time I will turn this on, because when you turn on this snap button, it will automatically snap on the start, which is startable on that part. So you see, you can do like this, it will auto start on it. It will make your build much more easier. So if you, let's say you uncheck this, yeah, some of the time it will recognize the start, but some of the time it doesn't. So it might hang at the center, you see. So it might floating at the center like here. Then you might created the overlapping part, which is not real. So now I deleted this, and what I would say, it will be most of the time, 95% of my time is turned on that, unless there is some special case I doesn't want the software to snap the bricks for me. So right now I do again, I would like to put at the bottom here, and then I will put it over here. Okay, if you feel the ground, which is this transparent ground, is very confusing, then you can go to the wheel here and hide the ground anytime which you want. So let's say you would like to start to build at the bottom, and you feel the ground is very disturbing, then you can just hide it. Or you say, okay, I need that to do the calculation to estimate the size, then you can anytime turn it on. I think right now maybe we can just hide it. Okay, and then next I would like to use the modify plate. Then I will go to here and look for the parts that I would like to use, which is the modified plate with handle. Yup, this one. Yes, this is the one. So I click, and then I rotate, then I will place it here. So then I will rotate here. So right now you notice that the orientation of the parts is not right. So you can actually rotate your parts by using the arrow key. Now when I click on left, it will turn like this. When I click on right, it will turn like this. So if I click on down, it will orient the other axis. So it will rotate like this. Then when I click on up, then it will turn like this. So you see, when you start to be familiar on this software, then you are very familiar where you want to rotate your parts. So right now we just want to rotate here, and then we move in further and we snap on it, and we right click. Okay, so now it's done for this. And then after that, I would like to use back the 2.2 plate. So you can you have a few ways to do it. Is either you can reselect from the selections here, or you can click on this, the one that we already used, and you click press on clone part, which means it's copy. Then you will immediately duplicate the parts again. So now I would like to place it at the bottom from here. Then I right click it So for this particular piece, I would like to make it to light bluish gray color. So what you can do is there's a two-way. One is you can just you can select here and you click on light bluish gray. So here showing all the light bluish gray options that you have. Or if you are building in white, then suddenly you want to change another color, then you want to go back with white, you can actually do like what I'm doing now, which is you stick with white and then you select this color, then you change this particular part color by selecting here. So you can see if now I change to light bluish gray, this one is turned to gray. So just in case you cannot see it on the screen, I will change to another color, more stronger color, which is red. So anytime I can just select all this and I turn to red. So you can see now your content color, which means that the color that you use for this MOC is just red and white. So you think, okay, now I want to turn back and white, then it will be like this. And then this one is actually I want to be light bluish gray. I will click on here. Okay. So next we would like to okay, we need another one at the bottom here. So you can also use back the normal copy and paste shortcut key from the keyboard, which is Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V instead of using the clone here. So click on this, I click Ctrl+C now and I press here and I click Ctrl+V, then it will duplicate it. Then I will place it again. Okay, so it's done. And this one I would like to make it to white color. So I click on here. And then I will need to use the bracket, so which is in light bluish gray. I will turn to here. That should fall under modified plate if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. Yeah, you can always check and see whether is this the one that you want to have. Okay, yes, this is the one I want to have. So I will rotate it and then I place it at the bottom here. And I right click. Okay, so far so good. Okay, and then next I will stick with light bluish gray, and then what I need is the plate, and I click on this 1x2. I would like to place it over here, but I will need to rotate it. So now I will press on the arrow key, left arrow key, just to rotate it, and then place it here, then right click just to deselect it. So after that, we would like to have the okay, if you are very familiar with the Legos library or bricks, you can just type in the parts code or even the part name. So let's say you want to search for wheel, you can just type the wheel, then it will show it will filter by the wheel for you. And then you can just click on this cross, then you will just uncheck then you will just clear up everything. So right now you will need to use the wheel, and I'm going to use this part here. So again, I will rotate and I turn my creations to see the bottom, place it here and place it here, and I right click. So it's done. So the next one I would like to use is the modify plate. I think is, yeah. I will go through here to get it. Yeah, here, this one. So I place on here. So actually I would like to place it at the bottom side here. So you can see that I may need to do several rotations for this part. Turn it. Okay, you can just try and error to turn until wherever you want, because sometimes I also confuse where I want to turn. I just keep turning, okay, and then get until what I want, then I place on it, then okay, so this is done. So after that, I would like to find the wheel to serve as the bottom, to serve as the wheel of the train. Okay, so right now I would like to find the wheel to serve as the wheel of the train. I think should be this one. If we are not sure whether is this a new or the part that you would like to use, so one thing is you can rotate and see it. Another thing is you can just hover your cursor on top of this part, then it will show you the descriptions. So okay, this is the one I want. So you can see even the view, you can just easily snap on it and then it's done. It's very convenient and easy. So you can do like this. Okay, so now it's getting into shape. Okay, so for the next one I would like to use a red color, so I will change to red. What I would like to use is tiles. So in this Studio 2.0, you will notice that the tile is actually categorized under plate categories as well. So I would like to use the 2x2. So you notice, if you are familiar with Lego's library, there's the tile with groove and the tiles without groove. So we will need to use the tile with groove, which is the most commonly manufactured by Lego. So I will place it here. And then I will turn back to white color and also go back to the modified plate. I would like to use the let me see, I think it's called the modified, yeah, with door rail, this one. So I can rotate it, I can place it here, rotate it and place it here. Okay, then I will need to use the bracket. Use the bracket. Where is it? Okay, this one. So we can rotate it and place it at the top. Okay. So next we would like to use is black color. So okay, so we can go to here, select black. What I need is the modified brick, so which is this one. So the one that I use is this 4070. Okay, then I have to rotate it, place it on top, and then turn it over and rotate it. Okay, so just to make sure your current build is look like this now. Okay, and then next we will need to place a 1x2 brick at the center. So I will select here. I will do the I will create the path first, then only I change the color to green. Okay, so you can always play around on what color you want to select. So you say maybe green is not that nice, you would like to change to red, or you think you will need to change to yellow. Okay, so you can anytime you can just play around with the color very easily. So next we would like to place the slope. So I would like to just type the slope, and yeah, this the cheese slope. So I will place on here. Okay, I don't think I want to use this color, so which is I'm afraid very difficult for you to view on the screen. So I will just change the color to white, and then I place the cheese slope on top of the modified brick that we just put on that, and then I click on the control button and hold it just to make sure you selected these two elements or these two parts. And then I would like to use the gold color, which is called the pearl gold. Yep, so it looks like this. You will also be notified by the software that if you accidentally selected a color which is not available in the Lego color library. For instance, if we try to play around on this part, you selected this, and then let's say you accidentally selected the earth orange color. If you are not sure whether is this part is available in this color, you can always check over here the list of your build here. If the color is not unavailable for this particular part, it will show an exclamation mark like this. So when you hover your cursor on it, it will show that colors is unavailable for this part. Then you will know that you have to deal with this part accordingly, which means that you have to change the part to other color which is available. So for instance, this one we have to change it back to pearl gold, and then okay, if there's no mark here, then you are safe to go. So let's move on to continue to build the train. Okay, I think I make a mistake here. I should have moved the cheese loop on top of the green 1x2 bricks. What you can do now is actually you can hold your control button, and then you selected these two, then you click on your left mouse button, click and hold, and then you put it over here. Okay, then it's done. So next we will need to use the round brake, which is the 2x2 round brake, which is this one. Again, then you rotate your parts by using the arrow keys on your keyboard, and then you place it on top, then you place it again, and right click when it's done. So I will need to change this color to red. So I selected two, again I press and hold the control button, and I select the two element, and I click the red color here, and it's turned to red. Then I will need a plate, 1x2 plate, white color. I rotate it by using my keyboard, and I place it on top. And then another one is the modified plate, which is the one with handle. Yeah, I think it's further down. Yeah, this one. So you can do like this. Okay, rotate to, you get it, and then you place on here, and you right click. Okay, if you like to change your view of your creations, it's either you hold your right mouse button and rotate it, or you can click on here and you select it's either side view or top view or back view, front view. So whatever you want to view, then you can just select it over here. Another way is you go through the top menu bar here, orientation, you can also pick the view that you would like to see. Okay, so there's one more function I would like to introduce here, is the collision checker here. So this collision checker currently is turned on, you see it's highlighted. So what is this collision checkers functions? It actually will tell you that whether your parts or your builds, whether the part is collide with each other or not, or in another words, is the part is overlapping to each other or not. So let's say now you are not sure whether your part is correctly built, or whether is it, because when you are not correctly built, then it's not reflecting the real actual creations. So now we can purposely make the breaks that it overlap. So let's say now I don't snap it, so that we can replicate these functions. So we okay, let me try to do it again. We try to hold that one and I replace it here. Okay, so now if in this case, sometimes you will overlook when you are making the creations, then you are not sure whether the part is correctly built or not. You can always click on this. So if the part is overlapping with each other or is collide with each other, then it will turn to transparent color. So you will know that you have to deal with this. So right now you know this is collide with each other or is overlapping, then you have to select this and move it out accordingly. Sometimes you have to check and uncheck this button so that it will refresh and check it again. So now I try to turn it off and I turn it on again. Okay, it seems like all good now. So this checker is actually I feel is very handy whenever you build something big or larger scale. Sometimes you will overlook that some part or some model is overlapping with each other, which you do not notice it. So I feel this is a very good functions for us to check when we are building it. Okay, so we can continue the build now. So now we are using the round plate, which is the 2x2 round plate. I will use this one, and I rotate it, I place on here, and then I will need the 1x1 round plate, which is this one. I put it at the center. Okay, so you rotate and see, okay, it's not a it's not appropriately placed at the center that I want. Yep, so this is more correctly placed. And then what I would like to do now is to change the color accordingly. So I will need to change to red color for this. So I select here and I change to red. Okay, so good to go. So move on to the next step, which is we further enhance. Okay, we have to build with the round plate again. Yeah, which is the dish. Then we rotate it and we place on top of here. So you can see, if you are placing it on top of other parts, it will immediately shows transparency. If it's not, then it will have a full solid body here. So you notice it. So if you are, so right now we are need to place this 2x2 dish at the front of the train. So sometimes your mouse will tend to put into here, and then you try to place it. Then you see it's overlap. So this is wrong. So it's either you delete it and then you check and check. Okay, then you do it again and you place it here. Okay, so right now you check again. Okay, it looks good. Okay, then we can move on. We need to we need to round plate, and then we put at the front here. And this one we need to change to pearl gold color. Okay, it looks good. Okay, so let us continue to build the train. So we will need to use the skeleton leg part, which is this one. Select and rotate like this, and then we put on top of here. We will auto snap on it. Okay, and then we will need the slope. I think it's called the round leg, which is this cone. Yeah, this one. And then we rotate it accordingly and place it on top again. Okay, then next we will need to change the color of this to pearl gold. So now I would like to introduce you another function which is called the submodeling. So for instance, if you would like to create another submodel out of this main model, you can always do like this. You select the two part and you see here, create into submodel. You click on this and then you give a name on it. Let's say train top. Okay, so now this part is actually submodel. It's like grouping. It's already grouped into one so-called a submodel. You can click, edit it at your main model, or you can edit it separately at another window. When you go to here, it will list out all the submodel and the main model for these creations. So for instance, now I create another one which is this and this as a submodel, which is called train body. Okay, so now we have created two submodel. One is the train top, another one is the train body. So you can see here. So if we click on train top, it will isolate it. It has an isolated view to work on this separately. So for instance, if this is much more complicated, then you can create more things here. Let's say you create this, you create another one, and then when you go back to the main model, it will directly reflect on it. So if you are lazy, don't want to go into the submodel, or you just want to create, you just want to edit it very quickly, you can just click the edit button here and you delete here and delete here. Then you return to the main model. So you can go to the train body and see now you can work on this. If you change the color and you go back to the main model, it will reflect it accordingly. So right now this one we have to edit, change this one to red color and then return to the main model. Okay, so let's say along the way you think that okay, this no longer needed to be in a submodel, you can always click on it and you click release. Then it's some sort of like ungroup it again. Then you can see the train body is dismissed, so it will cancel off. Okay, then we will continue to work on the remaining part, which is the okay, I think we can duplicate this one. We click Ctrl C and Ctrl V, then we can place on here, and then we Ctrl V again. It's on here, we rotate, and then I select this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, rotate it, and then Ctrl V, and then I place it again on here. Okay, next we need to use is the 1x2 plate, which is this 1x2 plate. Rotate it, we place it on the top, and then we need the 1x2 tiles with groove, which is this one. Then we need to change the color to red for the top tile and the green for the 1x2 plate. Okay, it looks oh sorry, okay, so it looks like this. Yeah, it looks okay now. So we move on to the back part of the train. Plate 2x4 here, and then we place it here. This one we have to change to green color, or if you don't like, you can change to any color which you prefer at. So for right now, I will use the green, and then I will need to use the window frame. You select the door and the window category, then we have to select the the window frame, which is where is this 1x2 door? Oh, I think it's not available in white, so it's turned to black. So again, we scroll down, door window, and then yeah, this one. So we place it on top of here, we rotate it, we place it on top of here. Okay, and then we change back to white color. We have to use the 2x4 plate again to place it on top of the window frame, which is here. We place it here. Oops, it's okay, it's overlapping, and we have to place it correctly. Yeah, it's correct. Then 2x2 plate on top here again. So when this snap function is turned on, it will auto snap on the available start. So you don't have to worry whether is it aligned or not aligned. So it's actually a very powerful snapping tool to use in this software. Okay, then we can continue to build. Okay, now we need to use the slope. We just start the slope, which is further down. I think, is it overshoot or where is it? It's a curve slope. I think it should be called the curve break and slope. Yeah, it's not at the slope, it's at the curve. Yeah, I think it's this one, 1x2. Yeah, correct. So we can rotate it, place on top, rotate, place on top, and place on top, and right click, and then we select this 4 part and turn into red color. So again, if you think that you would like to continue to modify the back, or you want to further extend the design at the back of your train, you can always create a sub model on this. Then it will easier for you to further modify it and build it in the future. So right now we need to use the plate at the 2x2 tiles with groove. This one, place it on top of here, right click. Okay, let's say let's revert back. So if you think that you want to place something in between your build and then there's some parts is blocking you, you can always hide the parts. So what you need to do is you select those parts that it's in front of you, you select it, you select multiple it, and then right click and you hide. So over here you will see that 8 items is hidden. So if you click show all, then it will shows back. This is just hiding the part and not deleting the part. So you don't worry that you have to build it back again. Actually, in fact, you don't need to. So you just hide, and then you also can see that there's an icon here. If you uncheck this, then it will show here. So right now, if let's say you selected a lot of part which is hidden, and then you want to show everything, you can just click show all, then everything is show all. So right now I feel that okay, this few part is bothering me, I will need to hide it. I just right click and choose hide, and then I place the tiles So you can always hide until whenever you are done. So let's say right now we are continue to hide it, we don't bother it, and then we place the 2x2 plate underneath here. Okay, and then we need a wheel at the bottom side. So I think it's available only in the light bluish gray, so we have to filter it over here, and then we type wheel. Yeah, I think the wheel holder, where is it here? Am I selected correctly? Let's do it again, light bluish gray. Okay, wheel. Pardon me, let me find it again. Okay, I think it's not here. I think it should be at the modify brake. Yeah, sometimes if I can't remember what is the part, I will need to scroll through the library part by part. Yeah, so which is this one. The part number is 300040, which is 30K. And then select here and right click. So now I will need the wheel, which is the 8mm wheel. We scroll down here again, and then we pick the wheel accordingly. Yeah, sorry, it's not 8mm, it's the 18mm. So yeah, sometimes I will just check the price or the part number, whether is it the one that I want. So I will go to here and then snap on it, and I rotate it, snap on it, right click. Okay, look like it is done. Oh no, one thing, this one have to turn to red color. And then now we show all again. Yes, seems like we are completed this Christmas train tutorial or the examples. So you can see this is the the part list that we are using. So right now we don't bother whether is it in step 1 or step 2. I think just now I accidentally created another steps. If you are not, then you can just ignore it, because this column is for us to build the instructions for these particular creations. I will go through these details in the next video. Okay, so for now we are done for this example. Oh yeah, and another functions I would like to show is the axis button. I think it's better I show you in the sub model on here. So when you go to here, so when you click on a part, you can see these tiny icons here. So when you hover your cursor on top, it will jump out another 2 icons. So if you move away, you will back to 1. If you go here, you will 2. So what is these 2 icons used for? First is actually used for to move the part in X, Y, and Z axis, which is this one. When you click on here, it will show 3 different axes. So this is for us to build it more precisely. If we would like to move this part in this particular axis, so we can always use these functions. So let's say click on here, and then I click, and then I drag it. So you see, if I want to move the other way, it's not allowed. If I would like to move it down, it also not allowed. It only allowed me to move on the selected axis. Okay, and then let's if I'm done, and I just click back. So if I would like to move it upwards, so let's turn to another view. So let's say now I would like to move it upwards. So I can click on here, and it will move upwards. You can see it's moving. So now the steps I set is 1 brick size. So if you like to move this one more smaller steps, which means you want to move the gap smaller, you can always change this grid. This is the bigger grid size, cost grid, and then the medium grid size, this is the most often I use, and then the fine grid size. So let's say now we change to the fine grid size. Then you selected this and you move the axis. You try to move up, you can see one step is actually very small. So this is a very good function if you would like to align something more precisely or more closely or more carefully. So you can move here, and then you see, okay, it's done. Let's say if you will change the cost grid, then you only allowed to move in a bigger step, like this, 1 step, 2 step. I think it's like 2 bricks height steps or 1 brick size. I'm not sure, but the idea is this is the final moving grid and this is the smaller. So I always use the medium one, and then I move this one accordingly and extend it. So again, you can use this collision checker to check it. Okay, it's not collide to each other, then it's fine. So now there is another functions. Okay, let us go back to the main model. So there's also another icon, which is the one you see like a circle. Actually, this is the icon to rotate this particular part. So for instance, now we want to make this exhaust, let's say, to a slanted angle, let's say towards this angle. You can always click on this, hover over here, and then you click on the rotation button. Then you can move this one. You can see you can move to any angle that you would like to. So let's say you want to do like this. Okay, it's look funny. Yeah, okay. Then we go back to the front view here, and then we move this back. Oh, sorry, do it again. So you will rotate this back to the desired angle that you want, let's say like this. Then it will turn out like this. So you can always rotate in 3 different angles. So for instance, we go back to the train top here. I would like to, okay, I use this part. I rotate it, I will rotate here like this, or I can rotate it in another way. Okay, I think this is because it's snap, it don't allow you do that. So let's say if it allowed, then you will show 3 different rotations plane. So it's either this plane, this plane, or this plane. So you can see you can always rotate it to your desired you want. So now if this is wrong, I can always undo it by clicking Ctrl Z. So I undo, okay, back to this, and then I go back to the main model. Okay, so now this is done for the building. So here is so there is some details info will show in this software. Firstly, it will tell you, so you go to the model and you click to the model info. It will tell you what is the part that you use, which is the part list. You can scroll here, and then the good thing is it will estimate the price for these particular creations. So for instance, this Christmas tree, it tells us that it will estimate it at a price at $4.391. Of course, this is just a rough estimation. It also depends on how many creations you want to make, or how many parts you want to buy for this creation or this MOC. And you also notice that for this particular MOC, we are used a total of 58 parts with 31 different elements. Okay, in terms of the physical information, it actually tell you how big this creation is in the real size. So you can always see by the studs unit or by the centimeter units. So which means in actual build, this particular Christmas train is in the dimension of the width of 7.1 cm times 3.4 in the length and 6.2 of height in cm units. And then it also estimated what is the weight of these creations, which is around 32 or 33 grams. Because this is relatively small creation, so we can just this is acceptable number. So we can go back to here, and then you close this one. Again, if you are not a good or matured builders, you are not sure whether this creation is stable or not. Here is also a very good functions introduced by the Studio 2.0, which is the stability functions. So you can see this is so-called the stability test. When you click on this, it will tell you how strong is the part is, what is the clutch power. So for instance, now it tells you that 3 clutch powers issues. So actually it's not warning. For me, if it's warning, then it means that it is more likely to be fallen in the actual build. If it's just caution, sometimes based on your experience, you will know that okay, with this kind of build is actually fine to be played or to be whole or to be created. So when this is 0 stability issue, which means that you are fine. So for this build, you know that okay, this build is quite stable and is okay to go with. Then you can just close it. Yep, that's it. If you are done with this, then now you have to save it. So you can go to File, Save As. Then you can create your desired locations, and then you put in your name, let's say train, and then you just click save. You will notice that the extension for the studio file is .io. Okay, so you can just click save, then you will save. Okay, so now I do it again, save. Yup, that's all for this video. I hope you do enjoy this video and able to learn up some basic skill on this Studio 2.0 software. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like button below, or if you have any questions or any comments you would like to share with me, feel free to put it down in the comment column below. If not, then I will see you in the next video.